Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. Joe here. Some changes have been made in the shop. I want to show you. One of which you probably can see already is I put up what could be considered a ceiling. I don't know if my previous videos, if you noticed that basically it was just open insulation bats up there, and one of the problems is the guy who had this shop before me was a woodworker, and the place was just totally saturated with really fine sawdust, which continuously rained down out of the ceiling here, got on everything. I just got tired of breathing it, so I went to one of the big box home improvement stores and got some house wrap. It's not Tyvek, but it's the same stuff, and just covered the whole ceiling with it, and it worked out pretty good. Haven't seen any snow showers of sawdust, ending up on everything. Another thing I did was I got some high pressure laminate and covered up the 2x6s on my bench here. Just made it a little smoother and kept small parts from falling through the cracks and stuff. It worked out pretty good. We'll see what happens over the long haul. I was doing some cleaning and stuff on it, and some WD-40 got on it. Doesn't look like it damaged it at all, so I'm sure eventually this thing will all be covered with grease spots and stuff like that. I got the big monitor up here, and I got my camcorder hooked to it so I can see what I'm recording a little better. Thank you all to my subscribers who, I wouldn't be doing these videos without you. So thanks, I really appreciate the support. Okay, I got to cut a bunch of angles in some of this wood to finish the ramp up. So I made this sled with the bandsaw, and it allows me to cut an angle on this board here. So I just figured, I've been doing these all day, but I figured I'd give you a show and show you how I do this. So that's what I got, and it fits over the table in the bandsaw. That's the last one. I had to cut 11 of these, and cutting pressure treated wood with a 14 tooth metal cutting blade is not the most efficient thing in the world, but it does get the job done pretty nice. So just figured I'd show you that little trick with the sled there. Well, we're done using our metalworking tools for woodworking here, and I thought I'd show you what I've been doing. I haven't been able to do any metalworking at all. Just trying to get this shop, you know, in some kind of reasonable order. Getting stuff moved in here is not getting a shop set up. You know, you put stuff someplace and you figure, oh well, now I gotta walk all the way across the room to get a screwdriver. So but anyways, I'll take this thing handheld and I'll show you what I've been doing my carpentry stuff on. Okay, so the issue is the bottom of this door here is basically 3 inches above the shop floor and 5 inches above the outside driveway. I guess they built it that way to keep water from running into the shop under the door. So anyways, thought about it for a while, and you know, I really need to be able to get stuff in and out of the shop, including this welder and you know, whatever else I may need. I've got a plug just like this on the outside of the shop as well, so if I can get the welder outside, I can weld out in the driveway. But anyways, what I built was that, and it's 3 inches off the ground, you know, and it's got a ramp right there so I can get stuff up, and then outside here we got another ramp. So yep, now we can get things like tractors, lawnmowers, motorcycles, whatever else we need in and out of the shop. It's all pressure treated, and the only thing I built this with was my bandsaw and my circular saw. And I think if I had a table saw, I probably could have done it twice as fast. But anyways, that's what I've been doing here for the past few days, and thank God it's done, because the guy who owned this shop before me was a woodworker, and this place was completely saturated with microscopic sawdust. I mean, I can't believe the guy lived as long as he did out here breathing all this crap. It was horrible. And you know, above this moisture barrier is fiberglass insulation, which was also saturated with ridiculous amounts of sawdust, which rained down continuously every time you got near it. So what I did is I went to the local home store here, and I bought some of this house wrap, and I covered the entire ceiling, everything with this, and that fixed the problem of having sawdust raining down. So between that and creating my own sawdust, I have been flat out just building shop. But I'm getting to the point now where I've got everything organized pretty well. I actually welded up a bandsaw blade for this thing the other day with that thing, so the outlet's in for that, and all the machines are powered now. 220. I built this huge bench, which is 11.5 feet long, and we got the big honking vise over there for welding and bending, and we got the little aluminum jawed vise over here for littler stuff. And you know, like I said, I mean, building a shop, just having a room and moving stuff into it is not building a shop. You gotta, you know, bolt stuff down. I got the arbor press bolted down, and you know, of course that cabinet was too flimsy, so I had to reinforce it. And got the drill press bolted down, so we can use that now. And Still dragging stock out of the house, the old house. I've got more of it here now. I'd say this is probably 40 to 50% of it. You know, I don't find myself driving down to Massachusetts too much anymore. It's 50 miles away, so you know the trips are getting less and less frequent. I suspect when they start rebuilding my house that I'll be having to go down there, you know, a few more times. So we'll bring the trailer, and we got tractors to drag up, log splitters, tons more scrap metal. You know, lawnmowers, all that stuff still down there. But anyways, that's the scoop. Oh yeah, and I did right to start, and got a new chart. If you don't know, they give them away. I actually got two of them. There's one right there, which I'll probably give away to one of my viewers. Got to figure out the most equitable way to do that, whether it's a random drawing or what. But you know, basically that's it. It's a tap drill, inch metric, decimal equivalence chart. It's fairly good size, and it's official Starrett stuff. So stay tuned. When I figure out what I'm going to do with that, I'll let you know. Anyways, that's a little shop update, and we'll see you in a few here, hopefully with some new projects. Thanks for watching. Oh yeah, back in '86 when I first started flying, went to a few air shows, and one of them was a really cool one out at the 104th Tactical Fighter Group in Westover, Massachusetts. And this was back in the day when there were no rules. People didn't flock to air shows. We flew in there, and I had rented an enormous VCR. Basically, it was the VCR part of it was like a suitcase that you slung over your shoulder, and the camera was huge. And I lost track of that tape many moons ago. Well, in moving, I found it, and you know, it's really hard to find a VCR now. Everything, as you know, has gone digital, and you know, if you want to buy a VCR, it's like $500. But I found an old handheld VHS camcorder that still worked, and I transferred that footage to my computer, my hard drive. And you know, the tape's a little degraded, the color's a little messed up, but you really can see some cool stuff. So I'm going to be putting some little clips of that at the end of these videos. You know, nothing long, maybe, you know, 5 minutes at the most. F-16s, FB-111s, F-104s, you know, the good old days of like insane jet stuff. And you know, being at a military base back then, they didn't have any restrictions. They could fly over the crowd at 20 feet, and some of them did. And some of them, I believe, broke the sound barrier, because when they go over, I mean, you can see it on the tape. It's insane. So I hope you enjoy that. I'm not going to saturate my YouTube channel with 30-year-old flight stuff, but you know, for people who are interested in that, this is really cool footage from 30 years ago. So stay tuned for one of those.
It's made for... Well, honey, the new show is just looking at airplanes, and then they're going to fly from the sky.
We'll be down one of these places down here.
I know, it's fast.
Why don't you walk down this way? Then come back up
If it goes out today, some of them don't go out till later on at night.